Oh, you know what's cringe? If we want to talk about fringe and cringe, some Jewish Americans actually are embracing the Ilhan Omar, Linda Sarsour cockroach stuff to some extent. Like there are some Jewish. Well, and I'm going to bring this up briefly. I know we probably all talked about it on our different, platforms, but Bernie Sanders very recently hired the cockroach, Linda Sarsour. I know we have Billy Bong in the chat right now. And Nostrabongus, the bong is never wrong. He was on to the cockroach Linda Sarsour as an OG from the beginning. He's been calling her out, and I appreciate that. Bernie Sanders is Jewish. Bernie Sanders has even said that Israel has a right to defend itself when Hamas lobs rockets over and tries to kill their people. He hired Linda Sarsour recently as his surrogate for his campaign.
Cockroaches!
Yes, Bernie Sanders did hire Linda Sarsour as his surrogate for his campaign, but we're not really here to talk about that. Although it was another prediction from Nostrabongus that did come true. I said she would use her activism to push herself into politics. I was correct, although I did think she would run for mayor of New York City, but surrogate for someone running for president? Not too shabby, huh? Anyway, enough about the cockroach. I'm here to talk about another type of animal. A large, powerful, based Arctic mammal. I'm here to talk about a giant of the Great White North. This mammal has done more for American foreign policy than the Trump administration ever could have, or even has. We're going to talk about the based neocon walrus. The Arctic ghoul, as I call him. Or her, to be exact. Because today, a walrus defending her cubs sank a Russian Navy boat in the Arctic Ocean. This is fucking fantastic to me. It's hysterical, and I'll get into that soon. Let's get through the article real quick, and then I'll let you guys understand why I'm bringing all this up and making a joke out of it. Humans have long known that it's inadvisable to mess with Mother Nature, and as a group of researchers from the Russian Geological Society just learned, it's also apparently inadvisable to mess with a mother walrus. The scientists were aboard a Russian Navy tugboat known as the Altai on an expedition to Franz Josef Land Archipelago in the Arctic Ocean this week right before the unusual human-animal interaction occurred. They boarded a small rubber landing craft and were en route to the shore to study its flora and fauna when a female walrus attacked, sinking the vessel. During the landing at Cape Heller, a group of researchers had to flee from a female walrus, which protecting its cubs attacked an expedition boat, the Russian military Northern Fleet said in a press release. The Russian military appeared to be flying a drone above a group of walruses on a nearby beach to take scientific photographs, which may have spooked the animal, igniting its maternal defense instincts. A gallery posted by the Northern Fleet following the incident shows images of the walruses gathered on the Franz Josef Land. And while the attached report makes no mention of a Navy boat sinking, it does note that serious troubles were avoided thanks to the clear and well-coordinated actions of the Northern Fleet servicemen, who were able to take the boat away from the animals without harming them. So I'm making light of this because lately I've found the discourse around American geopolitics to be quite disturbing and toxic. I think it's been a joke. And I make fun that even though it wasn't really a military mission or anything up there, who knows though, I wouldn't trust Russian news sources, but let's just say it was a scientific expedition. I wouldn't be pro-attacking some random scientists, obviously, but I'm just making the joke that America has become pussies lately. They let Iran take down a drone, then they hit some oil tankers, nothing happens, then they hit Saudi Arabia's oil, no response. Meanwhile, Iran's trying to build a nuclear program, and yeah, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. Sit on our hands. Now, I know most of you out there are anti-war. I know I'm going to hear it in this video, but I don't care. Ever since the Iraq War, Americans have turned into a bunch of pussies when it comes to war. Oh, these are pointless wars, never-ending wars, based on lies. Everyone's hung up on the whole WMD thing, weapons of mass destruction. ammunition. We didn't find any there. You guys realize that Saddam had gassed his people before the wars started, right? So let's just say he didn't have any weapons of mass destruction at the time when we invaded. He had them, and he used them on his people. And as if he couldn't get rid of them, knowing that we were coming after them. The WMDs are the main talking point for when it comes to the zeitgeist of American cuckery when it comes to foreign policy. No one cares to retaliate anymore when foreign enemies step out of line. They just want to attack if American soil is attacked. That's the only time it's reasonable for them to attack an enemy of the United States. Let me explain something to you guys. Nobody wants war, but our enemies, the United States enemies, are not going to sit back and do nothing while the American government is sitting on their hands doing absolute nothing when our enemies press us. They're going to keep pushing and take what they can get, whatever we allow them to get. So although we don't want war to be a thing, it's inevitable when we have enemies. And let me tell you, America has enemies. Real quick before I go, back to our Arctic neocon, the based Walrus. I don't think it was actually a walrus. I think it might have actually been John Bolton, the recent canned national security advisor for Trump. And why is he a canned national security advisor? Oh, because, he had a problem with Trump wanting to have peace talks with the Taliban. Yeah. That's the state of our foreign policy at the moment. Anyway, as you can see here, John Bolton clearly could have been mistaken for a walrus, or maybe the Lorax, or maybe Captain Kangaroo, or some other kind of fuzzy mammal. He probably got sick of everything going on with our foreign policy and decided to take matters into his own hands and take down a Russian naval vessel. Cause, why would America want to retaliate or be on the offensive against hostile nation states who are hell-bent on getting a leg up against America at any chance they can? Anyway, guys, have a good night.
Cockroaches, billions breeding, roaming around since Genesis, coming out through the crevices, investing, walls filled with termites, bugs and true, looking for food, coming out when there's no light, there's more.